Introducing the next evolution in fin design, built for maximum drive, control, and effortless flow. My signature fins feature a unique hybrid design combining the best of both worlds. They have the wide base of a large fin for maximum drive through every turn, and the height of a medium fin, giving you a looser, more responsive feel with less drag. More drive, more freedom, total control in all conditions. Unlock the full potential of your board. Buy your fins now at surfandshow.com. Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas. Today's surfboard review is the Zenith by Chemistry Surfboards. Now this is a custom 5.3. I have it in the XTR foam, in the Carbon Lite layup. If you follow the show, you know this is one of my all-time favorite constructions. It's got the pop, the projection, the drive. Now I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. This will be fun. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show. As we dive into my experience on the Zenith and the board attributes, I want to point out just a couple things. The thickness on my custom here is 2 1/4. When I put my hand on the rail, I would say it's full, not boxy, but I really liked how this board, when I put it on rail, it gave me that hold. So sometimes with the fuller rail for me, it actually, the water adheres to the curve of the rail, and then it allows me to really feel that resistance, and I push a lot harder through my turns. Now, the other thing I really like is it does have the tail pulled in a little bit. Even though it has a wider outline up here, I really felt like because I kept it short at 5'3", it didn't really catch much up here. But the overall rocker is very forgiving. I'd say it's relatively flat up front, and it feels like it has some tail kick. But we have Jason Bennett from Chemistry Surfboards, the actual designer of the Zenith, breaking down the board attributes for us. I think you're gonna love it. I love hearing from the shapers.
Here it is. Here's our Zenith model. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger of a Zenith, made for a bigger gentleman. First off, we're recommending our customers to ride this board 2 to 4 inches shorter than their normal shortboard that they ride day to day. First thing you see with this board is the parallel outline. It's got a wider nose, wider tail, creating that parallel outline, which is going to help the board gain speed really fast. It's going to be a great paddler. The rocker on the Zenith model is really flat from the nose all the way almost through the whole board. It's relatively very, very straight. And then at the last, I'd say 10 inches right behind the back set of fins, it kicks up. So what that's gonna do is with that entry really straight all the way through the back, it's gonna help the board go fast. You know, same thing as what the parallel outline's gonna do. Both those combined in very fast surfboard. And then with that last kick in the tail, it's going to give you that maneuverability that you're looking for. You know, with that straighter, flatter rocker, sometimes the boards will go fast, but you can't maneuver them. Just adding that last little tail kick really helps the board maneuver well. Okay, the bottom contour of the Zenith model is a very slight single concave in the entry, getting a little bit deeper through the center. And then as it hits the back set of the fins, it's obviously the deepest part of the concave, but I scooped it out into like a little bit of a double concave. And then after the back set of fins, right where I was talking where that rocker starts to flip out, it goes flat. And then I get this little gutter channel that comes off the tail that lets that water exit through there really nice and gives it that squirt of energy. And actually with the tail configuration of this little block kind of round swallow thing that I did, with that gutter channel and that swallow, it gives it a nice little bite so that when a tail has a lot of width there, sometimes they tend to be real loose. So that combination, especially with that little kick of tail rocker, that really loosens up the board also. This will give it a lot more hold and gives it stability. The most unique thing about the Zenith model is the fin setup. And I brought my board in today, so I'll grab that and show you what I'm riding as the fin setup and kind of explain where the fins sit and what I recommend. So let me grab mine. My board here, you can see it's a small little board, 5'6". I ride a 5'10", so you can kind of see the size difference. I've been on this thing all summer. It's been in my car. It's been hard to get off of it. I've been having literally a blast on this thing. A little bit beat up, but it's holding up. And like I was saying, the uniqueness about this board is the fin setup. And here we go. I'm riding as a thruster right now. And when I say the unique fin setup, these fins are sitting where a twin fin or a twin plus trailer would be sitting. So they're pushed back. So these are, the front set of fins are sitting about 10 to 10 and a quarter, depending on the size of the board, and the back sitting in like around 3 to 3 and a quarter, depending on the size of the board. This one's at 3 and this one's at 10. It's a 5.6, so it's a little bit smaller, so I'll push them back. The fins are in towards center. They're 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 off the rail, which is helping you get control because you're right over, the fins more so than out towards the rail. And the angle of the fin is a lot straighter. Where a thruster, the cant would be sitting around 1/4 inch. These are sitting around 1/8 inch. So the fins are straighter, push back. You get on this board with that parallel outline, it's a flatter rocker, the straighter fins, the thing flies. Then you add in the kick in the tail, the stabilization of your center fin. You got plenty of control with the board. So like I said, here's the thruster setup. It also could be ridden 2+1. So here's our twins that we're making right now with Go Shred. Beautiful template. These work great in it too. You could actually ride it just as a twin fin. Small, knee high, maybe and under, throw a set of twins in it, stabilize a little bit more. You could throw the trailer in it, stabilize it, and get a lot more control of the twin fin. So I'd say ride the twin plus trailer when it's chest high and under. Really small, ride the twin. You want some more performance, get a little bigger to overhead surf, stick with the thruster.
Stoked to have Jason breaking down the board attributes, and really enjoyed the footage that they sent over on Bryan Perez. Bryan was absolutely ripping on the Zenith, kind of taking surfing to a level that I personally can't do, but the rotation, he was riding it like a high performance shortboard and really making this board look fun in some pretty better than average waves. So one of the things that I want to talk to is the fin setups that you can run, because I really felt like the Zenith was very user-friendly, easy to ride from the very first wave I caught at Waco, and I would call that kind of like that punchy little beach break wave. Now there is some power, and if you sit in the pocket, it will give boards that don't have a lot of rocker some fits. Like, because it has a wider outline up here, when I'm coming down off a top turn, some boards with the wider outline, it will catch a little bit. But like I said, because I kept it short, it really felt like it fit in the pocket well. The other thing was all the different fin options I ran in the Zenith really kept the board kind of spicy, fun, and exciting. But where I started was my pivot twin plus trailer. Now this is a pretty upright side fin. It has a wide base, pretty good fin area, so you can really push off the side fins, but because the stabilizer is a little bit smaller, it gives me something to pivot off of. It offers that resistance so I can push, but I really liked how the tail felt nice and free. And that's one of my favorite things about a twin plus trailer setup. Now, Jason mentioned that he did something unique about the fin box setup, and I really feel like that's what it lends itself to riding this board with different fin setups. So I went straight from the twin plus trailer into my HP twins. Now this is quite a bit bigger fin, but you can see it still has a performance outline. So if I just match it up here, you can see, I know it's standing up taller, but this base is going so much further back past the shaper's dot here that's where I'm going to get the extra hold, the extra drive from the width of the base and from the surface area of the fin. So if I was riding this board, let's say Southern California or any really mushy wave, and the board's already fast, running it as a pure twin fin with something like the HP twins, take out the stabilizer, there's going to be less drag, and this turns into a completely different board. It's fast, the tail's even more free, and I feel like if you're riding like chest high below and you just want to get out there and have some fun, you're going to get that on the Zenith as a pure twin fin. Now let's say you don't have access to my fins for everybody around the world. You can run the ENs as a pure twin fin. FCS2, you can go power twins. I believe the Power Twins come with a stabilizer now. That would be a good setup for this. You can run Kelly Slater's Twin Plus trailer, mess around with the little stabilizer he gives you in the back. There's all kinds of fin options. I really feel like the Zenith lends itself to having a lot of fun and really changing the fins to get a different feel. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is running it as a thruster. This is my neutral template, so it's the best of both pivot and carve, right? It's not too upright where you don't have the hold in the drive, but because it has some sweep or rake, you can really drive through your turns. Now, if I was surfing the Zenith, let's say you pull up to the beach and the waves are head high and bigger, throw in a thruster set. I feel like the Zenith can hold an overhead surf. As long as it's not super hollow, I think you're gonna have a great time on this board.
Hey guys, I'm 5'8", 175 pounds. This is the Chemistry Zenith, and this one is 5'5" by 19 3/16 and 2 3/8 thick. It's at 29.3 liters of volume, and it's an EPS epoxy. So we've had a really bad run of waves this summer in general, but especially over the past couple weeks while I've had this board for testing. And what I wrote it in was a southeast wind swell, which are the most mushy waves we can get here in North Florida. But this board did not disappoint. And I'll tell you what, like when I would catch a wave, and after the first, maybe like second pump, this thing would generate so much speed that I was able to do turns in waves that were barely rideable. A couple other things that really helped this board out in small mushy conditions were the EPS tech with the carbon stringer that gave me a lot of flex and zip through flat sections and small waves. And also the bottom contours that Jason put into this board. The channel really makes that water flow through the middle bottom of the board and helps give it that extra speed. Because the waves were so weak, I mostly rode this board as a 2+1. And the 2+1 setup that I liked best in it were Noel's carbon pivot set. And this set really complemented the board well because it's a stiffer fin set, and this board with the EPS tech and carbon stringer has a lot of flex and pop. So the combo went really well together. And I really especially liked surfing this board backside. It just felt good getting up into the lip on small waves backside. I felt like I could come down without digging the rail or digging the nose.
Now, one of the last things I want to mention is the XTR foam with the Carbon Lite layup. And for me, this is a preference. This is what I really like in the pool, and I've done some testing in the ocean. This feels the best for what I like and the way I push through turns. It has that pop, that projection and drive. Now, I was looking on the Chemistry website. It looks like you can order it in dark arts. Eric has it in stringless EPS epoxy with carbon. He really liked that extra pop, that projection and drive. So I love that Jason is giving you guys a ton of options. Now, I recommend this board from that lower level intermediate all the way to pro level surfers. If you're a lower level intermediate surfer, I would say talk to the guys over at Chemistry and have them dial it in for you, because you don't want to get it too short. You want it to be stable. You want to make sure you're catching a lot of waves, and you want your surfing to progress. Now, on the top end with Bryan Perez, pro surfer, doing all kinds of mind-blowing rotations and stuff like that, I really don't feel like there's a top end. Like, everybody's going to have fun on this board. For me, it did not disappoint at the pool, and the versatility with all the different fin setups was amazing. Jason, I really think you hit it out of the park with what you did back here on the back end of the board. I can feel it under my feet. It's carrying good speed. It's offering the maneuverability and not just being a fast, small wave summer board. Living in SoCal most of my life, this would definitely be something I'd be riding 90% of the time. Now, wave height, I would say as small as knee high, about as small as it gets. You want to ride something that can still give you performance turns. The Zenith is carrying that kind of speed. All the way up to maybe head high, maybe a little overhead at some of the point breaks where the wave's a little bit flatter. As the wave gets round and hollow and it's overhead, you want to be on the appropriate board. But I really feel like this board model can actually handle a little bit of size, and we saw Bryan prove that to us by the way he was surfing it. Now, special shout out thanks to Jason Bennett for joining me on the review and giving us a board breakdown on his creation. Eric Petersen out of North Florida. Guys, I hope you liked the show. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.